I'm just waiting because you're texting. I don't want to.
Oh, no, you're good. Okay. You're good.
I was like, wait, are we good? Anyways, hi guys. It is me, Stefanie Maegan, your host of Broken Therapy. And we got the we don't got the Cami. We just got the Niki without the Cami.
The Niki without the Cami.
Just the double without the teamed.
Yes.
Or whatever.
The team without the double.
Or just team. Just, oh no. I'm trying to make a joke out of it and it's not working.
It's fine. Niki, hey.
Niki's here.
What up?
So we're trying to do these bonus episodes and make sure that we answer questions because I'm notorious for answering them like a year later.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's get into it.
So I want to make sure that we answer a question. And so we got an email and I want to just answer an email and call it a day. Give her a little 2 cents, kiki.
Kiki.
You know what I mean? And
Love
just go
it.
from there. Okay. So this one says secret boyfriend.
Oh, is someone the side piece?
Someone's a side piece, maybe. Hi, Stephanie. I've been dating the same guy for about 5 years.
What?
What?
Okay, keep going.
And really can see a future. I can really see a future with him. But there's just one huge dilemma. Girl, what is it? We live like 20 minutes away from each other, and he's never met my family. Maybe only once when we first started dating. He doesn't like coming around or doesn't make effort to be part of my family. But also, I am the baby of the family, and I hate having my family see me lovey-dovey. So I've grown to avoid inviting him over. I still live at home, and my parents are whole world, are my whole world to me. 5 years later, I'm now realizing that I want a partner who is a part of my family and can hang out with my parents with me. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be the one to force him to come. I wish he would make effort to come say hello to my parents at least. By the way, I have a Hispanic background. Respect to my elders is a big thing, and also family. And she is a Pisces and he's a Virgo. And,
nice mix.
And 10 years older.
Oh, wow. He's older?
Yeah, 10 years.
Old. Wow.
So.
Wow. Okay.
And they've been together for about 5 years.
Okay, so
and she says she could see a future with him. So
okay, so they've been together 5 years. That's why she called him the secret boyfriend, because he's never met her family.
Yeah.
Okay, I do think that's a little bit of a red flag.
I think that's a huge red flag.
Yeah, like why doesn't he want to meet her family? Does that feel like too much of a commitment at this point? Because like, I don't know why people get so weird about meeting other people's families. Like, I don't understand why.
All of our families are fucked up. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's one thing, like, you know, bringing them over for Christmas dinner and, like, you know, spending a weekend together. But it's, like, if it's just, you know, like a casual meeting, like, I don't think that's that big of a deal.
For sure.
Yeah.
And also, she also said that she doesn't like to be, like, lovey-dovey in front of her parents. I'm the same way, too. Like, I'm not a PDA person. No. Like, even in front of my friends, I don't like to show my lovey-doveyness.
Yeah.
However, like, I'm going to say this is my man, you know?
Yeah.
And so even if I treat him just like a homie in front of my family, you know? So I think just kind of don't put that pressure on yourself to like feel like you need to show that side of affection just yet. Just look at it as like
introducing him doesn't have to come with PDA.
Exactly. Like just think of it as like I'm having people that I care about meet each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it. And kind of just simplify it as that. And not think, my family, it has to be a huge part of me. They have to get along. And sometimes that just takes time and you'd be lucky if they get along right away. Yeah. But sometimes it just takes a minute to build that relationship. And, you know, you don't know if there's going to be any issues until you're there. And then you could figure out how to resolve that. But you don't know unless you try. So
I definitely think it needs to be a discussion.
For sure.
Yeah. She just needs to go up to him and be like, hey, I would like for you, like, start off with like why it's important to you. You know, you've been dating 5 years, you know, you care about him, you care about your family. Like you said earlier, it's people that you care about meeting. So like you want it to happen. And I definitely get the Latina thing. Like, you know, Latin families are like huge on that, you know? So bring it up, see what he says. And I think go from there. Like if he's not open to it, I think that's definitely grounds for, you know, consideration about continuing the relationship. Because like, if he doesn't want to meet your family and doesn't want to be a part of that, like, what's the reason? Like, are you going to be comfortable continuing if he doesn't want that?
Right. And I think just because maybe he's also he also isn't really putting the effort because she also hasn't shown that it's kind of an interest, because she says like,
Yeah.
I'm shy of being lovey-dovey, or like, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
So I think just starting to express that this is something that you want to be the next step in the relationship,
Yeah.
will maybe hopefully open him to be like, okay, you know, you're right.
But
But I
also,
think you just need to have that conversation. You don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah. And also 5 years is a long time to be with
That's a
someone.
long motherfucking time.
Yeah. And like, we're just now getting to like meet the parents. Like,
And they're only 20 minutes away. I know she's like, he lives 20 minutes away. That's not far.
That's
girl.
nothing.
That is nothing. That is
almost every man I've dated in Los Angeles has been at
Right.
least 40 minutes away.
I was
Like,
gonna say that is no traffic here, because everywhere's 20 minutes.
20 minutes
without
is
traffic.
a convenience. Like, yeah.
That is, you are
That
lucky.
is great. I
Yeah.
will take that any day.
Like, he is just around the corner with that time. You know.
Exactly. So I think it's time to have some conversations here and be like, yo, what's up? Like, what are we doing here? What,
Yeah.
you know, where do you see this going? Like, if you see a future, does he see a future? It's time to start making a couple decisions, because like, do you want to spend another 5 years of not progressing the relationship, and then, you know, now, you know, you're another 5 years down the road and you haven't gotten anywhere? Or do you want to like resolve it, see where it's going, and then make a decision about what you think is best for you?
Yeah. And I also think, like, if you're wanting to get married
Yeah.
and to, like, you know, obviously do the whole family thing, you don't know if he's a right fit until you see that. And I understand that, like, sometimes people don't get along. Like, I know that happens, and I don't think that should stop you unless it's like a really big issue. But, you know, for instance, with what makes me love Brian even more is seeing him with my family.
Yeah.
You know, and
No, I
like
would agree.
seeing
Yeah.
how like he fits in. And I know at first it's like a little awkward. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like, but over time building that relationship. And, you know, for us, like, my family lives in like different states. So like, we really need to make that effort.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so to see him make that effort and to want to spend time
means a lot to you.
means a lot.
Yeah.
And so
Shows
just-
commitment.
It shows commitment. And so, yeah, so I think that you shouldn't be scared and just talk to him. And if he's not willing to take that step, that's another type of conversation.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you, like, to introduce somebody to your family?
Like my family?
Yeah, or even to Cami, to like, what are the steps that you usually take? Like, how long does that usually?
I mean, if I really like someone, most of the time Cami will meet them like within the first, like pretty early on.
Yeah.
And that's always like, I mean, Cami's met a lot of the guys that
I was gonna say
were
you
just,
live
like,
together
flings.
too,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's kind of like,
Well, not only that, but like even before that, you know,
okay.
like I remember I introduced her to my ex-husband within like 3 months of meeting him, you know.
Aw.
And so, yeah, Cami's always kind of like the first line of defense. Usually if it's like, I'll bring someone around my friends within, if I really like them, you know, around the 3-month mark. I think I'm gonna extend that a little bit because my rave fam has kind of been like, yo.
You're introducing a lot of.
Yeah, they're like, we can't keep track. We get attached and then you're like, they're gone.
Aw.
So
That's true. Like, people get attached to.
Yeah, so they were like, so that was actually something my rave fam said.
That's so funny.
And my rave fam, like, we've all been best friends for like 6+ years. So like they know, you know, they've been through a lot with me. And so yeah, anyways, that was something we were discussing recently. But like my parents, like not until at least 6 months to a year.
For sure.
Yeah. And I won't even mention someone to my mother until like it's been a minute.
Same. I know. I never would, hardly ever, I mean, almost never would bring a guy over unless it was someone that I
exactly
saw a future with. I made the mistake of mentioning my last ex because I was like, oh God, he wasn't even really worth it.
Yeah.
But she like held it against me when we broke up and I got with like Brian afterwards. Because
she's like, what are you doing hopping around? Like,
literally, she was just like, don't you need, for instance,
don't you need time to get
this
over
is,
him?
This is the perfect example of this. So she's very blunt. I remember I was on the phone with her and she was on speaker and Brian was there. And I told her, I was like, oh, mommy, Brian's officially my boyfriend. He asked me to be his girlfriend. So we're official. And she's just like, stayed quiet. She's like, don't you think that's too soon? Even though we were dating for like 6 months, like it wasn't too soon.
Poor Brian was probably there like, well.
I know, and I was like, you know, she could hear you. And she's like, I don't care.
That's like my mother. Like my
Yeah.
mother be like, I don't give a fuck who's listening.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. She's like, I don't care if he hears me. He better fucking hear me. I was like,
I know.
I mean, she didn't cuss.
But
She
then
would
it
never,
reminds me of
but-
like how I'm that way too sometimes. Like I
Yeah.
remember the other day, like Cami was like, you know, she was like, all the guys like know when you don't like them. Like the guys that she dates that like I don't like, she's like, they know. And I'm like, do you think I give a fuck? Like, am I trying to please them? I'm sorry. Like,
Wait, how do you act like towards, like, how do you act towards neighbor?
cordial.
Yeah.
No, but even like I remember, you know, at one point, like he would, and you know, I'm not a bitch. You know, I can be bitchy, but I'm not a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
You have a huge heart, and I think that's where the tough love comes from.
Yeah.
So I
But,
think people
like-
mistake that as like cold, but I
Yeah.
don't actually think you're cold. I just think that it's tough love because your love,
There's a lot
like
of love
you
there.
love hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Well, so with Neighbor, for example, there was one point where he was trying to apologize to me for everything that happened with Cami or what he had done. And I
Yeah.
appreciated that. And I told him, I was like, thank you. I appreciate, you know, like you talking to this, like,
That's
but
nice,
I flat out
guess.
told him, I'm like, I don't think y'all are good for each other. And I think you need to like really like draw some better boundaries and not try to be friends. And like, I gave him my honest opinion. And like, I
Right.
didn't care if it was what he, like, not what he wanted to hear. I wasn't about to sit there and be like, oh yeah, you guys should definitely try for an 8th time. Like, no,
You're like-
I was like, y'all aren't good for each other. Like,
Yeah.
cut it off, you know. But I told him too, I was like, you know, I think you're a fine person. I just don't think you guys are meant to be. And, you know, I think you need to
Bring
you know,
the worst out of
Yeah.
each other.
so yeah. And I mean, like I said, I'm someone that's going to tell it how it is, and I don't sugarcoat a lot
Yeah.
either. And so I think people have a hard time like digesting that at times.
Yeah.
But again, like, what do I have to lose?
You're like, I don't need to be nice.
I don't need
Were
to.
you
I
nice
don't-
to any of her exes? Like Mike, for instance, the one in the other situationship.
Mike and I had a tumultuous relationship because I was the same way with him. I'd literally tell him I'd like, but I will say this: I appreciated that Mike like would try to like have conversations with me about like how we could like be better, and I would gladly accept that, and I would
Yeah.
you know be open to it, and we had some good conversations. And even after they broke up, months later, I invited him out to drinks one night. And I told him, I was like, hey, I just want to say, you know, I recognize that there are times when maybe I wasn't totally fair to you because of how I felt about y'all's relationship, or times where maybe I wasn't the nicest or could have handled things better, or maybe not been so blunt. Like, I took accountability for the times that maybe I wasn't like necessarily displaying kindness, or you know like I wasn't the most cordial, and I apologized for that, and I thanked him for you know the times that he was there for Camilla and the good things that I saw from their relationship. And he was thankful for my apology and my appreciation, and we had a great conversation, and it was very good and healthy. So like, yeah, Mike and I were kind of all over the place, but in the end, like, I think there was a lot of respect there. I respect him as a human.
Yeah.
I think he respects me. I don't know. I have no idea. But I was like, I was honest with him. And that's
Yeah.
the thing is like, maybe I don't sugarcoat things, but like, I do think I'm like fair. And I do think that I am at least like, you know,
it's like it's one of those things where it's like
Diplomatic.
annoying. Like it could feel probably on Cammy's behalf because you never done this to me, but like it could feel very annoying to have, but
Yeah.
also very like, but damn, she's right. Like you're probably 99% right most of the time. You know what I mean? So it's like,
but I will say this, her ex Daniel, I actually like urged her to be in that relationship.
really?
Yeah. And I really liked the two of them together. When it was starting to kind of like phase out, I could already see it. And I
yeah,
already kind of knew that like they maybe weren't the best fit, or like they needed to have some conversations around it. But I really liked her and Daniel together because he did show her a lot of love, and you know, and I just think they were like, when they were together, like they were what the other needed. And so I was very supportive of that relationship.
Aw,
So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I know, like, I don't want to sit here and say that I know what's best for Camilla,
right.
but I think a lot of times, like, since I do have like kind of an outsider's perspective, like, and I'm not romantically involved, then like I have a lot clearer of an intuition on that
I was gonna
person
say,
than
right.
she does. Yeah.
Especially because how close you are,
Yeah.
being that you are literally twins and blood and sisters, you know.
hmm But yeah,
And-
but I mean, like, someone meeting Camilla is like a huge part of my, you know, like it means a lot to me. And like, of course, whoever I'm with, like, I want Camilla to approve of them.
How does she act with all of the, the exes that you've brought home or the guys that you've dated? Like, what was her?
Her and Nate got along well. I mean, they had some ups and downs in their relationships. Nate would
Really?
actually, he didn't tell me
Ups
this
and
until,
downs, but
because there were a few stints where Camilla lived with us.
Mm.
And during those times, their relationship was kind of strained. And he didn't tell me this until years into our marriage, but he basically said that, like, he was jealous of how close her and I were.
Oh,
And he
shit.
felt like he could never get as close to me as she was. Or like that he would ever matter to me as much as she did.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's funny that he said that, because I told him, I'm like, I've never seen it as a competition.
Right.
Or like,
you never think that would be.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, it was like always like, very different kinds of loves. One is
Mhm.
platonic, one is romantic. But at the end of the day, like, I had a lot of love for them. But yeah, he said he felt like he could never be like number one in my life. Like, it would always be Camilla.
Dang. And was he
Yeah.
right?
I don't know. I mean, because I think at the end of the day, yes, I will always prioritize Cami.
Yeah.
But I do also think that, like, there will come a point where, like, we're each in our own relationships and we do need to prioritize our partners.
Right.
But yeah. So I don't know. That's a hard one to answer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But does she like for instance, Calvin, when that one was
They're friends, yeah.
They're friends. Okay.
Yeah, they're friends, yeah.
But like has she
We
ever
have a group
seen
chat,
you?
the three of us, like,
Okay.
yeah.
But like maybe if you ever were like in a very toxic situation, did she ever has she ever done the thing that you've done where you're like, you guys are not good together, and was like very honest and blunt? Like, how did she handle that?
Not necessarily, because usually I would just walk away. Like, I already
Okay.
knew it. Like,
So she didn't have to be that like.
yeah, necessarily. And that's not to say that, like, oh, I'm better at it than she is. No, I just think a lot of times, like, I just walk away a lot quicker and a
Yeah.
lot sooner.
Just your personality.
Yeah. So than she does. And but I mean, yeah, there have been times where, like, she, after the fact, like, if I'm still, like, kind of sad or whatever over someone, sure, there have definitely been times where she's like, well, like, kind of like get over it, because like they definitely had their reservations. But yeah.
Yeah. How does she comfort you when you're going through heartbreak?
It's funny, because then that's when she'll give me tough love too.
Yeah. I was
And
gonna
I'm
say.
like, see, and
Yeah.
sometimes
And then
yeah.
how do you receive that?
fairly well. There are times where I get frustrated with it, because I'm like, I didn't even want that, and now you're just giving it to me. Instead
You're
of,
like, damn.
I'm like, I'd rather you just like, let me bitch, and then that's it. I don't need anything
Yeah.
really beyond that. But yeah.
Does she ever do like the whole comforting and like nurturing?
Yeah. I mean, like, if I want like a hug, or if I need it
Yeah.
from her, I'll let her know, and she'll do it.
Aw, that's so sweet to have a sister. I just have brothers, so they're fucking rude.
I definitely, like, when I think about brothers and sisters, and I really like think
Because
about
you have
cute-
other siblings, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we barely talk to them.
Yeah, yeah, because different parents. I mean, different like
Yeah.
dads.
But also, and then our youngest is 20 years younger than us, so it's like, but when I think about like siblings,
We all have that age gap
Yeah.
sibling where you're like your parents had them like later
and
in life.
yeah, and you're like, you had no idea what it was
Yeah,
like.
because
so-
I'm like 18 years older than like my youngest brother.
same. Yeah, we're 20 years apart. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what's up, bro?
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you got an Xbox, and
He was like I met like
he's
I
so
love
spoiled.
Aiden. Like he was so cute as a kid. Like when I would go visit him, like we bonded. Like it was very, like we could, hang out, whatever. But now he's like too cool. Like he's just like, like has a Gen Z haircut.
yeah.
Like
LOL.
plays the guitar, he's just like too cool. Like does wrestling. I'm like, you don't need me in your life anymore.
That's
to
funny.
like make fun of you and
That's fun.
But
I mean,
yeah.
I never really tried with my little brother, so
Oh, you don't.
maybe it wasn't-
Why?
But 20 years apart,
That's
I'm like,
true,
what are we?
yeah.
I don't want to play Roblox. Like,
I think I just like, for me, I've always been,
and we live like states away.
yeah, well, mine too.
Yeah.
But I've always been like young mom vibes. Like, I'm surprised I didn't have a kid at like a young age. Cause like with kids,
See,
I
I'm
instantly
not great with kids.
I'm great with like, I instantly turn into like a mom.
See, I'm not.
Like people would think I would go in public with my younger brother, be like, oh, they would think that he was my son.
Yeah.
Because I would treat him like my son / like brother. But yeah, I think it's just instincts.
Not for me.
Yeah.
But see, Cami is good with kids.
Okay, I was
and
gonna see. I could probably see that.
And she was much better with our younger brother than I was. Yeah.
Aw, you're just like, hey.
Yeah.
There's like some people who do get awkward with kids. They're just like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to talk
I'm
about.
like a father, you know? Like,
yeah. You're like, I'm there, but not really.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm like so afraid to have children, because I'm like, would I even like know how to like be nurturing? Like,
I think when it's
because like
it's
with
cliche, but it's like when it's your own genetics,
Yeah,
you're growing
maybe.
it inside of you. Like,
but like even
I
with
would
my
assume, you know,
with my younger brother, I do the same tough love shit with him, and then my mom and Cami would both be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You can't, you know, like talk to him like that." And I'm like,
Like,
"But he
he's
needs
fine.
to
We
like
can't
get
be
it
like-
together." Like,
Right? Stop fucking crying. Get the fuck up.
so
Yeah.
your feelings are valid, but like get it together.
You're right. No, yeah,
Anyways.
I definitely like become like a mama bear with kids.
Yeah, I
So.
know.
But you're like that with like animals, though.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
There are very few people that will see that like more nurturing side of me.
Are you like that in relationships? Sorry, this is another therapy section.
no.
I just have so many questions about you. I didn't realize it was
Well,
so
and that's what I was
interesting.
going to say. With my ex-husband,
Yeah.
no. But like with Calvin, for example.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why weren't you like
100%.
that with your ex-husband?
I don't know. I think part of it was being on birth control. It really
Yeah.
numbed me in a lot of ways. But with him, we were just so equal in a lot of ways. And that was something that he told me at the end of our relationship. He was like, "You're just not that nurturing. And like, I want someone that's more nurturing." And his girlfriend now is very nurturing, very maternal. And so, you know, that's why he was like, I could never
He
see.
was like, you're more like a business partner.
Yeah, no, but really.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
1,000, yeah.
Yeah. I'll never forget. And I've said this probably on this podcast before. I've said it on my podcast. I've said it on other podcasts. I will never forget. It's one of the things that he said to me during our divorce. And he was like, "I wanted to give you the world, but you're going to give it to yourself."
Damn. That, you need to like make a meme quote out of that with like Samantha from Sex and the City. Because you know that one quote she said? She's like, "I love you, but I love me more."
Yeah.
Change that quote and put what like,
Yeah.
or something. I
No,
don't know,
but
but that
really,
was good.
When he said, I
Yeah.
know, when he said that, it really kind of clicked into place for me, the ways in which like he wanted to be like a provider. He wanted to, you know, but I was the breadwinner. I was the, you know,
Yeah.
like, I don't want to say that I emasculated him, but I wonder if at
You were
times
so much like my mom, because she definitely is like the breadwinner, the one that like makes the decisions, like just kind of is the leader.
And I do think that like if for my next relationship, like I'm gonna need to soften a little and get into more of my feminine, because I cannot keep being like in this masculine energy. But I mean, is it so wrong? It's just having to find somebody that is maybe a little bit more beta than alpha, you know? But that's what I want, like a man that's like very alpha. And one of the things that I loved about my ex-husband was that I actually felt he was like at my level.
Right.
You know, and so that's what he kept up there, and he was the one that got me to that level. Like I always credit him for like really pulling me up into like the person that I was.
And then with Calvin, you said you're more nurturing. Why is that?
Oh, 100%. And I would do anything for him, but like I would.
Whoa.
And like when he brought out such a soft side of me, and I think he was like one of the first people to like really do that. And I think that's why like I have such a like intense like, you know, like why I feel so strongly about him. And then in the last guy that I dated, like I really tried to like apply that, like being that, like trying to be soft with him too. And it definitely came out more. Yeah. So
do you feel like do you like when you tap into that femininity? Does it feel
I do like it.
It's hard to do, or is it natural, or is it?
No, I like it, but I've also realized that it takes like a very certain kind of man to bring that out of me.
Oh, okay.
Like, and I think that's like one of the things that I look for now, is that like a man that makes me feel like I can be in that energy.
Yeah. Oh, what is like feminine energy? Am I even in that with I'm definitely in that with Brian.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I feel like I don't know. Cause maybe I am a kind of a perfect balance where, cause I think
you need a balance of both.
Yeah. Cause I am very independent, but I'm also very dependent on him. Like we're like, I have both sides.
Yeah. There's yeah, that's good.
I'm just thinking about, just reflecting, but oh my God. Okay. Therapy session part 2.
Part 2. Yeah. Well, I hope we answered her question.
Yeah.
I think it's time for a conversation, and maybe it's a good time to kind of review the relationship as a whole. Let this be the catalyst.
Maybe y'all need a check-in.
Yeah,
You know?
check-in.
Like a check-in is very healthy in a relationship to do, even if there's no problems going on, but just to still see like, are we on the same page? Especially 5 years in.
5 years in. Yeah.
And you're already thinking about the next steps. It's time for a check-in.
Yeah.
I think that's your sign.
Yeah.
So go check in with your man. Anyways, plug yourself or any last words about
No,
I don't know,
that's all I
life.
got at Cami Niki or at Double Team Podcast. You know where
How
to
come
find
you guys
us.
ever plug your personal?
Don't follow my personal.
Okay, that's like your.
That's my personal.
I know.
Mine's public though, but Cami's is
Right.
private.
I use my personal too, and like I've had people like, "Oh, you need to boost your personal page." I'm like, but I kind of want to use it as like my.
It's my personal page.
My personal page.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, because you work so hard on one page, and y'all have 2 pages. Then I'm like, on my personal one, I just wanted to just be.
I just want it to be me. I don't want to be a business.
I don't think about it.
Yeah, exactly. I want to post the stupid shit that I want to post. And
exactly.
That's why, like, I post mainly on close friends, and like,
you do.
And it's literally like 100 of my closest friends because I have a lot of followers from like my old job. Not a lot of followers. It's like 4,000 followers. It's not a lot, but like a lot of those people are from like when I posted all the aviation content, and now I'm like, that's not who I am anymore. And I've been trying to like take back my page a little bit, but now I try to make it just more about me.
Right. Yeah, like even I feel like if you are following my personal one, that is my close friends. Because if I'm posting like my cats, like I'm posting it to my close friends. I want my close friends to see it.
Yeah.
I'm not except I accidentally posted on Broco-Therapy the other day. I was like, fuck, I posted on the wrong account.
But I love that. Yeah.
I was like, fuck. But like it's like more personal stuff. So that feels like my close friends.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. I already did. Follow me, Stefanie Maegan, or go to brokegirltherapy.com. All that shit is there. Send more emails so we can make bonus episodes and just give you a whole episode about you. Okay, bye. Broke Girl Therapy.